Now we're going to talk about setting training maxes and training max derivatives and what that means. Here in our player database, if you look under player performance metrics, manual entry, this is where all of your core lifts are going to live. The ones that we want to track manually and put in training max numbers, whether you test 1 RMs, you do 3 RMs and do estimations, you have to have some type of primary number that you're going to train off of. And if you want to create numbers off of that with lifts that you may not test, may not 1 RM, 3 RM estimate at all, but you can still create numbers to train off of to get a ballpark load that's pretty close. At least you can start from there. And this is how you do it. Here, you're going to select your exercises that are primary for you. You don't have to use all of these slots. They're just here. And these are some of the common ones I see in strength conditioning programs. Power clean, trap bar deadlift, back squat, bench press. Now, if you wanted to change one, you just double click here in a cell and it's going to pop up your exercise index that you've already created. If you don't see the exercise that you want, you need to go to your exercise index and add it to it. But here, this is where all that will live, and it's all sortable. You can sort from top to bottom, like from here. Hopefully this won't screw up the formatting. If I sort largest, so I can sort largest on bench press, and I'm going to see who's got the largest bench press here. And you can even sort, okay, who in this group, who in football, clear, select football, who in the football group has the highest bench press. And you can look at it from there. It's an easy data analysis of knowing who's strongest and who's not. I'm going to pull back up all athletes, and I'm going to sort back alphabetically. Okay, we're here. All right, so, and you can list these numbers here, and all of this is just entry for you. The biggest thing is that you want to make sure that your primary lifts are here, and if you accidentally duplicate one, it'll tell you. If you go like this, 2 of them, you don't want that. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that to happen. To make sure you don't confuse the system, you just need to make sure you pay attention to that. Here in the system, it's completely up to you on what exercises you put here and numbers you put in. You can sort it, but everything that's going to come off the derivatives are going to come off these numbers. Now, understand that all of these numbers are going to automatically flow in when you program. And if you put a percentage, and if you go to your training card, it's going to read off these numbers. That's exactly what it's going to do. This is where the system is going to read, all right, I've got this program, this athlete running this program under this week, under this phase, and this week, on this day, this lift with this number. That's what this whole system does for you instantly. And this is where you put it in. Now, what are training max derivatives? Okay, here, this is where you can create training max numbers off of your primary numbers, okay? And let me show you how this reads, okay? This says, I want to program, or I want to create a number for RDL, and I'm going to create this number off of 80% of my back squat. That's what that reads, and that's the number that it gives. For this guy, back squat's 305. It's going to give an RDL number of 245. Okay, an RDL number of 245 is 80% of his back squat. Okay, automatic. All of these are automatically calculated for you, and you're not going to be able to erase the formulas anyway because it's protected. All you want to worry about is the 3 cells up here. The exercise you want to create a number for, and then the percentage of a primary exercise that you want to create it off of. This drop-down list is simply the list that's listed over here. If you add a lift, notice that I've got these lifts here. Let's say I add a lift to it. Let's say I put in, let me make sure it's something that's not listed over here. Let's say I put trap bar jump. Okay, I add trap bar jump to my primary. If I come over to my drop-down list, trap bar jump is going to be added. Okay, if I erase it, I come back to my lists, trap bar jump's no longer there. Okay. Now, if you accidentally select an exercise that's also listed in your primary, for example, if I put power clean in my derivatives, but it's underneath my primary, it's going to flash red and say max not found. Okay. That just means that the max is either already listed here and it flashes it red here, and that's an error. We don't want that. Okay. I'm going to erase that. Okay. Also, if you try to type in an exercise that's not in your exercise index, that you can't select from it. If that's in the drop downs, it's just going to flash red, and it's not going to find anything anyway. Like if I say military press 80% off of bench press, just making stuff up, it's still going to be an error regardless. Also, if you don't have the lift, let's say trap bar jump, right? Let's go back to trap bar jump, but we haven't put in any numbers yet. Okay, and I come over here and I want to create a number off my trap bar jump. Let's say we call it a trap bar pull. Okay, I don't have that exercise list yet, so I'm gonna go to my exercise index. I'm gonna type in trap bar pull, and let's say our trap bar pull, we want to create. Go back to my database. I want to create a training max for that by, all right, I'm going to create, trap bar pull. And let's say it's going to be 85% of my trap bar jump. Oh, sorry, let's go 115. It's a little bit heavier, right? So trap bar pull will be like a clean pull off the trap bar jump, a little bit heavier. I'm just making stuff up here. This is not real numbers. Off of the trap bar jump, off the trap bar deadlift. What did I say? Trap bar pull? No, sorry. Okay, trap bar pull off trap bar jump. I'm here. Yeah. Trap bar pull, trap bar jump. Okay. I've got it listed, but I don't have any numbers listed. So if I put in trap bar jump, it's just going to say zeros. Like it's not going to say anything, right? It's not going to give me anything. It's just going to be zeros. Now, if I put in a number here of whatever their trap bar jump is, let's say they can jump with 275, and then for this athlete here, it's going to create a number. All right. If I delete it, it's going to come back to 0. Okay. So that's how the derivatives work. All you got to worry about is these 3 cells. And you got a lot of options here. If you want to get creative and you want to play with it and see what you like, I'm going to keep some of these that are pretty much mainstays in my program. If you want to change these, obviously it's your program, you can do it. But these are pretty common. 80% of your back squat is good for an RDL. 80% of your bench press is good for an incline. 70% of your bench is good for a push press. 80% of your back squat good for a front squat. 65% of your bench press good for a barbell overhead press, a strict press. 80% of your power clean for hang clean, 90% of your back squats a safety squat bar squat, 110% of your back squats a safety squat bar box squat. That's just some general numbers you can use in your program, but if you've got other things that you like, you're more than happy to add as much as you want and take away. Remember, this is your program. That's how the training maxes work. That's how the training max derivatives work. If you have any other questions, please reach out. That's the player database.